Right. First of all, wow. Thank you so much for donating. Thank you so much. All right. Let's get it in. All right. Can I get a countdown, please?
In 3, 2, 1, go!
All right. So this is Dark Souls 1 once more, and apparently that was a good decision after all. First of all, I wanted to make a couple of things clear about this run. Once more, this run depends on a random weapon that will be farmed 5.5 minutes approximately into the run. In normal runs, you just reset there and like you start over. But since that might not be a good idea for marathon, I'm gonna load up the save file, which also has the name Lava Boost, obviously. When I don't get the weapon, the drop chance is about 1 in 4. So if you want to make this run legit, you have to pray with me. And wow, already a first donation, and you can go ahead right away.
We got in 15 euros from Sniper Wave, who said, "All this generosity is killing me. Holy mother of Poyo." Also, major shoutouts to India and Nina for being absolute madmen.
Alright, here I picked up my first weapon, the short sword. We're using it for one boss, and after that we'll switch to another weapon.
Regretted.
Also think that is really important for early game. This game has a nice little feature called stored rolls. Stored rolls happen when you fall. You can mash a roll button and you can actually like escape the stagger animation and get a roll instead, which is faster. However, sometimes the game decides nope and doesn't give you the roll, but it stores the roll inside of the memory. What that does is at some random point within like 10 seconds, it will release the roll, and yeah, you can not like influence the time. Why I'm saying this is, in about 2 minutes, I'm gonna drop off a huge tower, which basically gives me like 5% HP, 5 or 10. And if the game gives me a stored roll there, I basically die without anything I can do about it. So the start of this run is like really annoying. And because I can die there, and it's out of my control, I'm gonna level up here so I don't lose any souls. Well, I do lose the souls, but wait. Oh my god, I just leveled up the wrong thing. Well, guess we can back that up with some souls I can get. Okay, I'm gonna try to dupe humanity for extra drop rates. I did not get it, sadly. So I'm gonna explain a little thing about the dupes in this game. You have two kinds of dupes: the with confirmation box and the one without the confirmation box. The one with the confirmation box is fairly easily. You use item queuing to queue up an action, and while the game is like doing one action, you actually select some usable item. And what that does, it uses the item last selected, but gives you the effect of the item first selected. I will explain that later, and it will be much easier to see it actually work. Then there's the second type, which is a frame perfect trick, which I'm gonna attempt soon, and hopefully I will get it. It says like 10 seconds, but since I leveled up the wrong thing at the start, it might come in helpful at the start of the run. So yeah, I'm going down, and that's the tower I'm talking about, which can potentially kill me. So let's hope that won't happen. Right. I got good RNG from the Drakes here. And seems like I'm not getting hit, so that's nice. Alright, so now is the moment of truth. I'm gonna pick up the ring on top of this tower and then roll off here. And then roll towards the bridge. So let's pray. Well, that can happen. There was one thing I didn't mention earlier. The Drakes have some kind of an alignment, and if the alignment is not in your favor, like it just was, then that stuff happens. So there are 2 points where you can actually die there, and that was one of the points. So yeah, Drakes are, like, you saw my health being almost depleted there. Normally you can just roll 3 times there, and I actually tried to roll a 3rd time, but the iframes didn't quite line up, so that was a little bit unfortunate. So I'm picking up a lot of souls here because I'm trying to get my souls back that I lost from leveling up the wrong stat. It's not completely the wrong stat, but it's used like after the first boss fight. And yeah. I will use it after the first boss fight, so it doesn't really matter too much. And there's a donation, so you can go ahead.
We got in €1.03 from Zeta, who says, here it's fixed again. Can we stop this madness now? Because my heart might not be able to handle this anymore. I'm saying no. Overruled. Let's keep the madness going. We're only €90 away from getting 3,000, guys. Keep it coming in, guys. Keep it coming in.
So yeah, sadly this is like the boring part of the run. It would be even more of a shame if the weapon didn't drop, but yeah, whatever. There's not really too much to say about this area or about the first start of the run. What I can say is that the first boss fight actually is really random, I would say. The boss fight itself is not as much, but the... let me focus on the dupes here. Right, I got 1 dupe already. Alright, and... that should be a dupe? No, never mind. Oh. We're gonna use the RTSR, or Red Tearstone Ring. You heard me talk a lot about it. I will use it for, I think, every boss. So this is the guy that drops my weapon, and yeah, well, we'll see. It's a 1 in 4 chance, basically. Oh, 1 in 5 because I lost my humanity that I just popped. Oh, let's see. Did we get it? Well, there is no Black Knight Halberd. That's the weapon I was hoping for. So I have a save file with lava boost, and I'm gonna replace it. I've done exactly the same thing, and that will this save file will actually have the Black Knight Halberd right now, as you can see here. It's also a nice blue color. So yeah, the Red Tearstone Ring. You see it activated here. I would have gotten it from the Black Knight as well. Once you're under 20% of your total HP, your attack rating gets boosted by 50% while wearing this ring. What that does is, because scaling and this game has some... hello? This game has some weird damage calculations. It actually boosts your damage by 150 to 200%. And because that's so ridiculously overpowered, we're gonna use it for every boss that we can.
We got in a €15 donation from Kinin, who says, am I still in time for some pollo? I guess not. Can I just pollo a bit? Pollo, 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 pollo. Also, damn you, Indy, for taking my pollo away from me. And we got €1.04 in from Midnight, who says, "Are you sure it's 90 euros? Good luck on the run, bro."
Thanks.
It's not 90 anymore. It's 74 euros now.
Right, so I'm gonna buy the weapon that I'm gonna use for the first boss. It's called the Battle Axe. Since the Black Knight Halberd uses way too high stats, and I don't have the souls for that, I'm gonna need a different weapon that I'm gonna use for the first boss. Alright, so here comes pretty much the most spooky part of the run, which I'm gonna use an audio cue for, and luckily that works this time. You can hear the guy shooting magic at you. Oh, there's an thing in the way. You can hear the guy shooting a magic arrow at you, and I had to dodge that. Nice, it gives me the worst possible setup here. Whatever. Right. Hello. Right, that's a relatively early buff. This can be bad. Alright. This may look really easy, but it's way harder than you think. There are so many ways that the hollows can react to you, that the magic guy can react to you. Alright, the first boss is the Gargoyles, and the Battle Axe is a 2-hit stagger. So we're gonna abuse the 2-hit stagger. And we got the best possible opening, which is really good, nice. An instant tail cut. And 1, 2. Oh my god. This is... he escaped the stagger here. I'm dead. I'm not dead? Okay. Hello? Okay. Calculated health. This is very bad. I should have quit out, honestly. No, I'm dead. This was a very, very bad fight. If the gargoyle can escape the stagger, and that's basically the worst thing that can happen. Yeah, basically because you are in red Jason ring range, and yeah, it's just silly. Normally he doesn't do that. Honestly, it's really marathon luck. This game has a tendency to give you marathon luck a lot during marathons. First with the Black Knight Halberd drop, and now with the gargoyle fight. That gives me time to talk about the weapon a bit. Nice. Great. Right. The weapon is like really good. The moveset is amazing, and the damage is quite okay. You can shoot with a donation.
We got in €100 from Cruel. And, well, he says, "As a proud organizer, I can't stay behind. With this, we made the 3,000. I should mention I had to transfer extra money to my account for that. But hey, I can't go Indiana crazy, but let me throw in my last bit as well. 3,000 hype!" And he is absolutely right, we made €3,000 this month.
So
wow,
this
guys.
is how it's supposed to go.
Thank you guys so much.
First gargoyle staggered, second gargoyle staggered to death, and that's how easy the fight is when everything goes right. One thing you have to know about this game, it's really, really RNG heavy. Every boss can have so many different patterns, and you have to react to all of them perfectly. Getting hit once, most of the time, result in death. Or you have a really good RTSR setup like I had last fight, and apparently survive it like 2 HP. But most of the time they will result in death, and that really is a shame. Right, because we are not really a nice guy, we're gonna
Welcome any child has made
kill this guy.
and now leave with me.
And use homing button. We kill the guy for souls, and we're gonna use it for this level up here. Right, 22 strength, 18 dexterity gives the perfect amount of souls. We have 244 left. And now I have the stats to actually wield the Black Knight Halberd. And that will result in some nicer fights. With other weapons, you have to use the move swap glitch, which I'm gonna explain later in the run. This weapon, however, has such a nice and fast moveset that actually doing the glitch loses a bit of time. Let's now not drop the weapon, that would be nice. You can go with the donation.
We got €5 in from Goodigo, who says, long-time viewer, first-time donator here. Save the ferrets, kill the pollo.
Wow.
And we got €1.01 in from somebody called Mr. Quicker / not indie, who says, so in the end, you won, Indie. So you'll donate more money next BSG? If you keep your proportional donation statistic, you only need to donate like €10,100 next month. Also, only instant noodles and water for you in April?
Leave me, you.
Yo! Thank you so much for your generous donations.
So our killing the NPC spree continues while we kill that guy for his ring. And I hope that's... No, we kill one more NPC during the run because it's faster. Alright, we equip the ring and we heal up here. The ring is the ring of favor and protection, and what that ring does is it boosts your HP, stamina, and equipment loads by, I think, 20% each. Oh, nice. Picking up the S-Stock here. The thing with the S-Stock is I'm not going to use it for normal attacking. However, I'm going to use it for one glitch, and that's the move swap glitch. What move swap does is it replaces the running, plunging and backstab attack from your left hand weapon to the right hand weapon. And the running attack from the S-Stock, which I'm going to equip in the left hand, or in the right hand I mean, is a quick double stab. If you put that on a strength weapon like a Black Knight Halberd, you're going to do 2 quick pokes of heavy damage, and that pretty much destroys bosses. Or at least that's the idea. Couple of drops here, healing up, and using the movement of the elevator to know when to drop, and this is a pretty good setup. And every damage that I take in this run, more or less, is because I want my health to be under 20% for Red Tears and Ring. So up next there is the boss called Quelaag, which is a girl with a spider body. And the good thing about the BKH, or Black Knight Halberd, is that we can try to stagger her, because the Black Knight Halberd is so long, you can actually hit the human parts of her, the body parts, and that makes her stagger. So I'm gonna try to do that. Alright, we got the worst opening here. No. Okay, don't push me in the lava there, Quelaag. Right. So the last 2 hits were actually how I was supposed to do the fight. It was pretty cheeky if I missed those, then she would have spit lava on me, but I was fairly confident that one would have hit. And it paid off. The hitting the human parts actually gives more damage. And here you see me doing the juke. Right, that is Quelaag done. Now we're gonna get a weapon to +2 and kill Sif, which is a dog. Do this first. Right, bought the Crest of Artorias and the Weaponsmith box. The Weaponsmith box let me upgrade at bonfires, so I don't have to visit a blacksmith every time. The Crest of Artorias opens the door towards Sif. There is another way around, but it takes like 3 minutes or something, and that's way too long, so we're not doing that. Again, took a counter hit and a normal hit for Ratirsten Ring, and now walking through the forest. Actually gonna quit out in a bit, and that's one of the few times you will actually see the file name, so you only see the file name during quit outs, basically. The good thing about Dark Souls, in my opinion, is the game is decently broken. Here you're gonna see the name. The game is decently broken, not broken at the same time. Like, your progression through the game is like pretty normal as you would do in a casual playthrough as well. The way of killing enemies though is sometimes pretty different. And that's what I really like. Also the game is like not as high paced as other speed games, which gives you a lot of opportunity to read chat or play some music in the background. Picking up a armor set here. Normally I'm not planning on getting hit, except for one boss, and that boss I equip this armor set so I take reduced damage. I don't have to heal as much. Also there's a stat called poise in the game. Poise, basically, the higher your poise stat is, the more hits you can take before you get staggered yourself. And that armor set gives a lot of poise. So during that boss fight I can tank some hits and not get staggered at all. I'm gonna pick up the ring, the horned ring after this fight, or like before the fight. And that ring gives me higher repose damage, which I'm gonna use for the last boss. And let's fight Sif now. Alright, that hitbox is really, really weird. Like, what? Okay, that never happened before. In the meantime, you can read the donation.
We got in 420 from Dolani, who says, just got back home to see this absolute madness. Good job to the organizers and also praise the indie. Thank you so much.
Come on. Him's just lagging twice. Luckily souls don't really matter at this point. So far I got some really... some execution was really not on point. However, that attack, it was nothing that I expected. Like, I was to his side, so he most of the time turns around there, which was really unlucky. But yeah. Sad thing is, there are no bonfires on the way. Where there's one, but if you pick that one up, you have to do a completely improvised Ratirsten Ring setup, which is also random. All but all, like, this game is not really that consistent. Also, the fight is triggered now already, which is gonna be an awkward position to fight Sif in. Okay. Not really comfortable with this damage I took there. Like the thing is, Sif can jump, and when Sif jumps, he actually inflicts a little bit of damage to you. So if he jumps like 2 or 3 times, I probably won't survive that, so I will heal up if that happens. We hope he won't though. Like Sif is one of those fights that you most of the time won't have any problem with. Nice punch. Those are one of the jumps I was talking about. Like that. Don't jump again! Sif, please. Right, the fight will take a bit longer now. Because no RTSR. Well, kidding. Or we do have RTSI. Okay, finally. Oh. Use the dark side of the Sif and we continue with the run. This is the Sense Fortress segment, and basically it's one trap, like a fortress filled with traps. And the biggest trap you will see is the pendulum cycles right here. If you're fast enough, you can make a really tight pendulum cycle. So I'm gonna try to do that. Other than that, there are enemies on your way and arrow traps. But they shouldn't form that much of a problem. You can roll most of the attacks of these guys. He will try to lure you out, but I mean, I played this game more than once, so I know there's a boulder coming there. Equipping the chest piece of the leather set here, because I'm planning to get hit again. Gonna use audio coup for this as well. Alright, that's really unfortunate. Always there is a backup. Push this enemy out of the way. A nice roll. And we make our way to Iron Golem. Last marathon, I actually rechecked the video, and you have to hit him under the knee twice in this route to make him stagger once. Then hit him a couple of more times, and then he falls off the cliff. The tricky thing is to actually hit him. It's not really that bad, honestly. You just really need to, your timing needs to be precise. Hello. Unequipping the shield, because if I have the shield, I will actually mid-roll, and that's too slow. Mid-rolling will decrease the speed you run at as well. Right, there we go, there's a stagger. Oh no, 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 no! This is fine, this is fine. Well, I was not expecting him to knock off the edge there. I could quit out in time, so there's nothing happening, but I have to redo the fight. I think I got a counter hit somewhere, which is odd. Right, there we go. And he falls off the really not that hard of a fight, but you need to position yourself in such a way that you won't get knocked off with him. And luckily that didn't happen. The death box there, the kill box there is actually pretty high up, so I was pretty lucky that I was able to crit out in time. Something you need to know about quit and reloading. It will reset enemy position, reset aggro range, and reset your character to the last solid ground. So if you're falling, it will reset you to the last position where you were not falling. Here's some more level ups to make our weapon more powerful. And we're gonna go make our way to ONS, or Ornstein and Smo. A lot of people have trouble with them the first time around, and actually consecutive times as well. The thing is there with two of them, and you have to always keep an eye on the other one. If you don't keep an eye on the other one, then you most of the time get killed. So in this run we actually will use the move swap glitch for the first time. And we do that to quickly kill Ornstein before Smo is there. At least that's the idea. And we do that because of the move swap. You move swap twice, I think. Yeah, you move swap twice in this route. Because the shield I picked up, which I have right now, is called the Grass Crest shield. And it actually boosts stamina recovery, the green bar. And that's really helpful in fights. So you have more... If your stamina recovers faster, you can attack more. And if you attack more, then fights won't last as long. And yeah, the thing with Dark Souls is there's a lot of running around from place to place before you challenge the boss, and then you continue. And that's the thing with this game. If you die somewhere, it will quickly lose a lot of time, because most of the time there are no bonfires you take, because the running segments most of the time you don't die at. It's most of the time the boss fights where you expect to die, because your HP is there under 20%. So yeah, there is a lot of times where you will easily lose a lot of time. Excuse me. What? Well, okay. I was really surprised that actually hit me. The demon guy, not the arrow. The arrow did hit me. So he's on the way, so we kill him. And now we're almost at the second boss, or at the next boss. Which I'm obviously gonna take the bonfire for, because this is, as I said, one of the more random fights in the game. Even more than other ones. So again, we're gonna use an RTSR setup, and luckily this guy has the perfect amount of damage for that, if you do it correctly. Like that. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna try to take damage here. And there we go. This is the move swap glitch. You equip the bow in your left hand and the S-hook in the right. And you're gonna try the two-handed bow, and while that's happening you switch out the bow for another weapon. And it triggers you holding the weapon in your left hand. And that's normally not possible, so strange things happen. And now it's ONS time, and hopefully they will give me some good opening. And Ornstein gives me a random opening. Nice. Don't jump back. He jumps back. Oh, lovely. Okay. I need Smo to do something. Right. Ornstein is dead. But the fight's not over yet because Smo now transforms into a lightning state. And that one is actually one of the few he can still kill you at. You can use the pillar to block him. And now he's dead. It's funny because Ornstein and Smo is most of the time the harder boss fight, and I die to gargoyles. So yeah, that's just how this game works for you. The fights where you expect things to go wrong go pretty smooth. I was tempted to quit out there because normal runs you quit out since this game is timed in in-game time. But RTA is actually faster to like not quit out there. And we Homeward Bone back while gaining the Lord Vessel during the cutscene, which we skip. So the Lord Vessel gives us the opportunity to warp between bonfires, which I'm gonna do now. And placing the Lord Vessel gives us the opportunity to challenge the Lord Souls. And you need 4 Lord Souls to satiate the Lord Vessel. And if the Lord Vessel is satiated, then you can challenge the last boss. It's basically Dark Souls. Alright, I'm gonna level up some endurance here. Oh no, 29. And I'm gonna warp to Enorlondo. So this is the place I was before, and you might notice that something is different. It's dark right now. Killing the lady that gave me the Lord Vessel will actually turn this place dark. Turning it dark changes a few things. It replaces some enemies and unlocks an optional boss fight. We're just doing it in any percents for the Lord Vessel. It's faster to kill the lady than to actually talk to her. In all bosses, you turn it dark because you will be able to challenge the optional boss fight much quicker. There's another way. You have to get a special ring, but that's slow, and we don't do that. Now you can roll through his attack here, which is somewhat precise, nothing too major. He can glitch out and like kill me right here, but didn't, which is nice. When you think about it, like I never thought about it this way, but Dark Souls is a game where every segment has its things, and every segment has something you have to worry about, and if you don't, then you'll just die. It's not as bad as it might sound, like it's a little bit exaggerated. But every segment does have something special, which makes the game fun. But which also makes the speedrun a little bit annoying, because if you don't know these tiny little things, yeah, you might just die and you have no idea why you died. Right, so I'm gonna dupe the Soul of Sif here. Or not. And now is one of the more significant skips, the juke skip. Right, first part done. Second part done. Perfect. Juke skip saves the mandatory death, where you die to the upcoming boss. There's nothing you can do. There is absolutely nothing. It's a scripted death, and it warps you to a different place where you can progress with the main story. But because that is slow, we skip it. I was thinking about not taking this bonfire, but this run actually has with some surprising deaths. So let's just take it, because this is, I think, the longest walk back you can have. And taking this bonfire away is like 30 seconds, but if you have to do a juke skip over again, walk here over again, takes more than 30 seconds. So it is really worth it taking this. And now continuing to the next boss. Because I healed up, I need to take some fall damage at some places, but that should be fine. We won't use the move swap glitch for this one as well, because move swapping actually saves time, but it saves 1 second and is a lot more inconsistent. Right. It's actually called the manly drop, because doing that can actually make you slip off and just miss the second platform, and you will die there. But I was checking my HP and I was way too high, so I had to take it. Right. Here we killed some crystal lizards. Crystal lizards are the main source of upgrade material in this route. They drop 2 twinkling titanite each, and you will need that to upgrade your weapon. Right, this is a little bit of an annoying part here, where the clams will get in the boss fight if you're not doing this properly. Alright, this seems good, but it's not a huge problem if they're in the boss fight. It just can make it a lot slower, and can potentially kill you. Doesn't seem like we got one. Right. Leveling up the extra endurance really helps out here. And that's the first Lord Soul obtained. Warp to Firelink here. Unequip this. Alright, the reason why you do Seath early is because the 3 crystal lizards there, and we're gonna upgrade our weapon to... it's 4. And we're gonna level up some vitality. Alright, so weapons go to +5 in this game, and... or special weapons go to +5 in this game, I have to say it right. So, well, our priority is to get our weapon maxed out as soon as possible for the most amount of damage. And that's what we're doing here. We're gonna go for the +5, and the most optimal crystal lizard is right here. It's on the way, you don't lose any time, well, you kinda lose, what, 5 seconds getting it, but that's as good as you can get it. So just more running around, and gonna trigger a boss fight within the first upcoming minute. Which should be the easiest boss fight, but hey. He spawns copies of himself, and if the copies decide to troll you, well, that's the way it goes. But I shouldn't either. The real enemies are here though. The bone wheel skeletons. Getting hit once is getting hit about 10 times, and then you just die. But my setup was good and they didn't get aggroed, so I didn't die. Those are one of the things. If you walk off a specific part there, the chances of you getting hit are so much reduced because they just don't aggro. If you don't know that, then you always will have bone wheels. Healing for Pinwheel is most of the time a meme, because you should not get hit there. Most of the time you do it in radiation ring range, but we have a saying that you're not a real speedrunner if you've never died to Pinwheel. And I'm not planning on showing that off at the marathon. I might have died once or twice. The thing is, he can spawn a clone of him right in front of you. So you're preparing for an attack round, and he spawns a clone right in front, so you cannot reach him. So you're gonna attack the clone, but not the actual boss. And then he shoots an arrow or like some fire attack at you, and then yeah, you just die. So upcoming is the Chrysalis I was talking about. It's right here, like right in front of where you have to go. And those are the final two Twinkling Titanite we need to max out our weapon. And one of the signs that you know that Pinwheel is basically a joke is I've killed him like 20 seconds ago, and now like he's just a normal enemy that they copy pasted around here. So yeah, they do that with one more boss, and in my opinion it's just lazy design, reusing a boss as a normal enemy. But yeah, I mean it's up to the person what I think of that. So here I'm gonna need the audio cue. I was too late with closing the menu. Doesn't matter though. This is the thing that melee routes just don't really care about, because we can pick up this armor set. And picking up the armor set is such a relief. Just being able to take hits. Nita will kill his skeletons here. We will take damage, but we can just heal up again. One of those fights where you actually there's no real speed tech involved. You just press R1 until you win. Right. So that's the second lore soul obtained. It gives us the opportunity to go to 26 vitality, and there will not be any leveling up except for the weapon. Almost forgot. So the weapon is leveled out, my character is leveled out, so we will not need any souls anymore. Upcoming is a segment that you already have seen. The reason because I'm doing that is there is actually a skip that is not even that difficult, but it's really unforgiving. I will talk about it a bit later on. Like, you see my health bar right now, and if you compare it to the health bar at the start, it's like twice as big. And the skip I'm gonna do, it requires me to take damage. And you have so much more leeway with this amount of vitality than you have with like base vitality. It is much safer to not do it at the start. It will save about 3 minutes, I think. It's a pretty major time save. So yeah, revisiting old areas. Here's what I was talking about. I was mashing the roll button, but my character didn't roll. That's the stored roll I was talking about at the start. Also, doing this skip later on makes you able to actually get the safety bonfire, If you take the safety bonfire right now, it doesn't matter. But if you take it in the early start, then you will not have the large vessel, so you cannot warp out. So you have to climb your way out of Blighttown, which is just really, really slow. So yeah, here's where I fought Quelaag, the second boss of the run. And the skip will be up in about half a minute. As I said, Dark Souls is a lot of running around, and it can waste a lot of time. But yeah, this run is relatively simple. It's not as simple as the all bosses run that I did, which is just basically get the sword, kill stuff. But it's definitely more simple than other runs. There is actually a new skip found lately, or like a couple of months ago, and that skip actually makes this run obsolete. However, this is, I think all Dark Souls runs agree on, this is the most fun run this game will ever had. Alright, this is the skip. Alright, that's the first part. This is really good. That's really good. This is really good again. Okay, this is a little bit tricky, but jump was not that difficult. No damage taken there. And there we go. That is basically the, well, in my opinion, the hardest skip in this game. It's the good thing is it's 100% skill based. If you mess up and if you die, then it's completely your fault and you have only yourself to blame, really. Which is good. I mean, you can practice that for hours and hours, and you can get 100% consistent with no RNG involved. Some runners might, if there are runners in chat, which I kind of think, they are gonna be angry because there is another skip, the Blighttown skip, where you do a fall control quit out, and that fall control quit out is really, really tight. So I think this one is harder, but yeah, it's up to you, really. Right, I want him to do the good opening, which I got. And for some reason there is, oh fuck, oops. Kind of forgot to set up RT, sorry. I was talking about the skips. His attacks are mostly magic spam and flying up and jumping down. There is not really a hard fight. The hard fight is the branches in this boss room. Actually, they can really easily block you, and if they block you, then the magic attack will hit you, and then bad stuff happens. Taking this safety bonfire just in case. And upcoming is a really nice RTSR setup. Basically what you do is you don't care about everything. You just run and you get RTSR. Which is really nice. I mean, there are really complicated ones in this game, but this one is super easy. To roll this one. And there you go. Right. That ring. The ring he drops is necessary for the upcoming part. He drops the orange charge ring, and the orange charge ring is actually the orange charge ring is a ring that reduces lava damage significantly. Like I can now actually run over lava with this ring equipped. If you take the start of this run, it was just really unlucky. The rest of the run was like, well, not that I'm done yet, but up until this far, a lot of things went pretty smooth. The juice skip went really smooth. And up until this far, nothing really bad happened in mid-game. Upcoming is another boss fight, which is arguably the worst boss in this entire game. So, what this boss is basically a puzzle. He has two small orbs on the sides, and the small orbs you have to destroy. However, you can actually throw fire bombs to destroy these orbs. And we're gonna do that, and because we're gonna throw the fire bombs at two strategically placed positions, we're gonna skip fighting him normally and just go straight for the center. So here's an enemy that can be a little bit trolly, but again, if she it's a she by the way, if she is in a nice position, then nothing bad can happen to you. Right, let's equip that. Equip the fire bombs. I'm gonna show you the. It's called by a runner named Toki, so that's why we call it the Toki bomb strat. So the small left and right orbs is where I'm talking about. That's one. There we go. And this should be two. Right. And that's the boss. Normally you have to go and fight kill these orbs like individually. But no, you don't. And you can just kill this little bug that's actually the boss fight. So that is the third one. There are only two bosses left to kill, which I think is gonna little bit overestimate because of the rough start. We're gonna rest here because that saves warp later, and we're gonna go and kill the Four Kings. The Four Kings is the second and final boss we will move swap for, because we can actually give me a second here. We can actually get 2 kings instead of 4 kings by doing a precise setup. Don't. Okay. If he goes with the wombo combo, he can kill you. It doesn't happen too much though. Oh no. Oh no. No 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 no. Can we pause the timer, please? Thank you, controller, for disconnecting randomly.
Nice. Nice.
Great. Well, at least I could save it and quit out in time before I just randomly ran off the cliff there. I think I have to restart the game. Great meme. Quality game. I was kind of afraid that would happen because Input Mapper is not always a nice program. Doesn't happen too often though. If it would happen a little bit later, I would have just ran off the cliff without being able to control my character. Great. An amazing port with an amazing program is like a formula of bad. Oh my god, it's still. Let me restart Input Mapper. I'm so sorry. This is basically nothing I can do about. Is this Input Mapper? This is really unfortunate. Yes. Okay, this should do it. The thing is, without Input Mapper, the PS4 controller, well, basically works, but completely different. It was actually not even the worst disconnect. You're also gonna have a disconnect where you still recognize the controller, and if that happens, then your camera will start spinning around. It works now, by the way. Your camera starts like spinning like crazy, and yeah, that's also not really what you want to have. Right, we still live. Upcoming is a skip called the seal skip. Because slope, if you slide off a slope, the damage you take is. Let me first do it, then talk. Is delayed, so you can actually land below, and then quit out, and you will be registered below, like I am now. But I didn't take any fall damage. It's pretty tricky to get into, but once you got it, it's not that hard anymore. This one's up here. It works, come on. Please, move swap. What I'm gonna say about move swap is, even the top runners will agree with me when I say that sometimes the move swap feels complete random, even though it's like consistent. Right, dropping an item here to actually run the wrong way. Know where the second king will spawn. Oh no. No! Well, he was doing the magic attack, which is really unfortunate. The thing is... I'm gonna try to do the backup. The backup is really difficult though. Oh my god, I got it. The backup is like really tight. Well, now we got all the 4 Lord Souls, and we're gonna go and kill the last boss of the game.
You sorry fool.
Right. Always a nice moment to know if you actually... You use a homeward bone after every last boss, and that warps you back. If you do it too early, however, you will not get the souls, and the kill will not be counted. So, if you don't pay too much attention, you can get here with killing all the bosses, but you have not obtained their soul, and that basically means Oh my god, he's trolling me as well now. Great. Cool. You can kill all the Lord Souls, but if you didn't obtain their soul, they will just still be alive. And then you just sit there like, I missed some soul, and then you have to go back or just reset. Most of the time you reset. So the last boss is Gwyn. He has an amazing soundtrack. He's an amazing fight overall. But if you parry him, yeah, you take away that part. Because parrying is fighting him in a really different way. He offered himself to the first flame basically, and because he did that, he lost a lot of his strength and power, and now he is like how he is right now. Right, they were pretty passive. Let's see if we can parry him. First parry done. Second parry done. And okay, get ready on time. I have to quit out after I spawn. I have to quit out and then it's time. No. Oh. Barely not sub 1 in-game time. I'm sorry for the overestimate. The start of the run was really unfortunate, with some deaths that were not really out of my control, but they were like really RNG dependent. The game is measured in in-game time and it's barely not sub 1, but oh well. It was a pretty mediocre run overall, but at least I could show off the way Dark Souls any percent works. So I want to thank you all again for the amazing donations towards Lava Boost, which is an 8 after it for some reason. I will thank you all again for watching, and I hope you all have a nice day.